The time is almost near for Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Very good rematch. A fight. The first fight was very solid. You know, for me, I did expect for it to be a little bit more action, but there was a lot of technical work. So as a boxing fan, I enjoyed it. As far as a casual, you know, maybe some of the moments weren't as crazy. Like you have a fight where David Benavidez, David Morrell in the same division, light heavyweight, is more like in your face. Very good work going on there too, but it was a different style of fight from round one, right? Beterbiev and Bivol put on a different pacing, but I enjoyed the fight. Looking forward to the fight. Ego thoughts, man. A lot of people have reached out asking my opinion of that particular fight, who I think is going to win. So this is why I'm making that video. My opinion has not changed. The opinion is the same exact opinion I had in the first fight, which is Artur Beterbiev victory. I said it in the first fight. I'm rocking, and we just double downing on that. And I'll explain in this video why I believe that. One, I respect both fighters, Beterbiev and Bivol. However, I look at it from a boxing perspective. What I seen in the first fight, Dimitri Bivol's best chance to defeat Beterbiev, to me, was in that first affair, that very first fight. Because Beterbiev, he's pushing 40. Beterbiev had no previous fights with Bivol. So that was the first time. I haven't even heard of them sparring, despite both of them being Russian and from Russia or whatnot, right? So he came into it blind. He didn't know about your style. He didn't know, you know, about your power, your timing. He had to figure it out all on the job, which is the case for most people, unless you fought him in the amateurs like Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, or maybe if you sparred the person. However, for me, that's one factor. He didn't know what he was in there with both ways. Bivol had to figure it out on the spot. That's not uncommon of a fight like this, of that magnitude. Here's where it gets more interesting. Beterbiev was coming off an injury and a long layoff, and won the later rounds as the older fighter. So this could very well be round 13. And for me, now with Beterbiev getting a fight in the can, knowing who Bivol is, I think the ebb and flow clearly favored, and he won the first fight. Now, I know some people are like, oh, he didn't win, Bivol won, man. BoxRec says different. Beyond that, they asked Bivol in an interview for Fight Week, they said yes or no, and it says you're happy with the results of the first fight, and he said yes, meaning he's okay. And he's done several interviews where he's like, I have to be better. He won fair and square. So it's funny because you have Bivol apologists and Bivol fans who are arguing for something that Dimitri Bivol, the fighter who actually fought the fight, is not even arguing for, which is very funny to me. Very, very funny that you have people who are trying to make a case for something that the fighter is not even disputing. He said, I lost to Beterbiev. So the first one is the result that it is. It was a good fight. Bivol did well in spots, but the difference maker was Beterbiev was technically better than people give him credit for in terms of boxing, and he has game-changing power. So I could really see him hurting Bivol worse than he did in the first fight, earlier than he did in the first fight, more consistent than he did, and really getting a stoppage, maybe a decision, depending on how much that Bivol can take and how much punishment. Again, for me, I think Bivol's best opportunity was to catch Beterbiev when he was blind, coming off of a long layoff, coming off of a injury. I think it might have been with his leg, right? So he's coming off an injury, coming off a long layoff, not familiar with your style, hadn't had any fights. Now that he just fought, see, Turkey, he's hoping for a trilogy. Beterbiev has everything in his arsenal to spoil the need for a trilogy if he wins here on Saturday. And partly you're going to have to blame Turki, because if you really wanted to and you wanted to ensure the trilogy, for me as a boxing fan, I would push the fight out. I feel like Beterbiev being the guy who's like 40 roughly, you know, he's close to 40 or whatnot. If you push the fight out, that would benefit the younger guy, the agile guy, in terms of Bivol, and give Bivol more time to heal, recover, go over tape, etc., etc. The fact that you have Beterbiev, who didn't really take much punishment from Bivol in the first fight. Bivol was boxing well. There's a difference. And now you have him on a quick turnaround, because the first fight was roughly October of last year, maybe, right? October of last year in Riyadh season, and now they're back already fighting in February. So that's a quick turnaround. And for me in this instance, and I look at boxing on a case-by-case occurrence and a case-by-case basis, I think that benefits that quick turnaround and breaking that dry spell, getting familiarized with Bivol's style. I think you're going to see a better Beterbiev, and that was almost crazy to say. Another thing for me here that is it's kind of funny, because Bivol didn't do anything quote unquote wrong in my book. In my honest opinion, he didn't do in the first fight. He didn't really do anything wrong. He didn't have like some horrible, crazy game plan, and he still lost. So he put his best effort. That looked like the standard, you know, Bivol that we've seen, if not maybe even a shade sharper, right? Best effort, the best that he gives. Footwork looked there. The style looked the same. He looked durable. He was shooting the 1-2, all of that, and he still lost. So for me, when I'm looking at a fight like this, I'm like, what gear or what is he going to do more of to ensure that he gets the victory? Now, I've seen Bivol say that he feels he can be right there and trade with Beterbiev and like be okay, and he's like, maybe I got to get more aggressive. To me, now you're in Beterbiev's world. The more aggressive you get, the more you're going to get hurt, in my opinion, unless you just sneak Bivol sneaks some shots and then Beterbiev don't see it coming. But for me, I think more than likely, if Beterbiev, when he's in there and you're in his wheelhouse, he showed he can box, he showed he can brawl, he knows what he can shore up. So for me, I think we've seen, what I'm saying is this, I think we've seen probably the sharpest Bivol. We've seen a focused Bivol. Now you done took all them punches in the first fight. You still have markings and a black eye under your eye like months after the initial fight. The quick turnaround, as I mentioned earlier in this video, to me suits Beterbiev, the older fighter. And there's so much that Beterbiev can improve on just to be sharper. He could start sooner. He could get more aggressive sooner. You know, he can, because you look at fights with Joe Smith Jr. and other guys, Beterbiev hurt Joe Smith Jr. in the first round, and I think stopped him in the second round. This is a heavy puncher. Now, I respect that Bivol might be of a higher skill set, but he's not hitting harder than Joe Smith Jr. So for me, I just feel like Beterbiev, he didn't show the very best that he has and still won, right? So there's not really much that I'm seeing that Bivol can do much better, unless he just all of a sudden grows some mysterious power and catches Beterbiev with some crazy shot he don't see coming. So I think we'll see pretty much the same Bivol overall, but Beterbiev, he's training like a monster. He's lifting all this weight. I got a YouTube short and videos covering it, and he's training the quicker turnaround, familiarizing himself with the style of Bivol, and you know, strategically he can do more. Like, he can box, but he already tried that in the first fight, so now he might just come out mad aggressive. So I'm rocking with Beterbiev by stoppage.